Yeah.
Live streaming is on.
Let's see if it starts over on the YouTube automatically. Yep, it started up on the YouTubes. Waiting for the picture to show up to see if it's actually working. Okay, there we go. We're working on the YouTube. So, good evening, people. I don't know why I'm saying evening funny, but good evening. I am Count Dracula. No. Yeah, okay. It's one of those nights. But, yeah, this is This Week Unloaded, I believe, right? That's the name of the show? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's right there on top, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, that's what this is. And, no idea what we're talking about tonight, but first let's introduce our panel. First in was Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing good, thanks, Rich.
Yeah. And then next was Mrs. Stacy Nelson out of Oklahoma. You may also know her as Mystic Guns. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I was just on a live stream earlier for like 6.5 hours, and I'm doing my own show. And next we got Rob D, otherwise known as the New York Outcast. How are you tonight? Behold the children of the night. What music they make.
Thank you for having me.
Please, and bring her to me.
And finally, bringing up the rear so far, we have Mr. Squibload out of Michigan. How are you?
I'm speechless. The panel tonight is yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Don't lie, Squib.
Do not be scared, child.
They're weird.
Renfield, you idiot. What, nobody's seen Dracula Dead and Loving It?
I remember Dracula 2000.
Oh.
Yeah, I like Dracula 2000.
Jerry Ryan, yeah.
Transylvania 65000.
Dracula Dead and Loving It was...
wasn't there like a Jennifer Esposito or something like that in that movie?
Something like that. But, yeah, Dracula Dead and Loving It was a Leslie Nielsen movie. I think it was done by Mel.
That.
Yeah, it was done by Mel Brooks. Leslie Nielsen played Dracula. It was actually pretty funny. It stuck to the story pretty well too, Sebastian. But they threw in a little comedy here and there with it. And, yeah, it was better than that stupid movie from the '90s, the one that had Keanu Reeves and Gary Oldman. Who the hell else was in that one? Christ, I don't even remember. Wasn't Winona Ryder in that one?
Yeah, she played the love interest.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to worry about her. She died on Vulcan.
Yeah. So, what are we going to talk about? I mean, are we going to just keep doing Dracula impressions all night, or somebody got something to talk about?
Want to talk about guns?
Yeah, we could do that if you want.
I think Mystic said she was getting a new gun.
Snob finally getting her to Kimber?
Oh, better than a Kimber.
Nope, he is bringing me home an X5 Legion.
Where'd he steal it from?
I think he bought it from Gary.
What's he trying to make up for?
He stole it from Sarge. Sarge is going to get home to North Carolina and be like, where the hell was my Legion?
Oh, well, technically, I mean, I guess he said, oh, by the way, I'm buying this gun. And he said, but you should be okay with it because it's an X5 Legion. I said, okay, well, I said, it's my Mother's Day gift. I said, I'm taking it.
Now, see, that's a good Mother's Day gift, if you think about it. That's really appropriate.
I really like that gun. Whenever I shot it, whenever we had it on loan from Sports World and stuff, I really enjoyed shooting that gun. So
Well, I think it's a good lesson to share with everybody out there. What does mom want for Mother's Day? She wants a new handgun. Hell yeah.
Let's see who we got.
Yeah,
out there
not
in the
no
chat.
pussy ass Sky pistol or nothing like
Yeah.
that. It's getting
Real
a real
quick.
good.
Real quick, let's see who we got out there in the chat real quick. We got, Squib's out there, but he don't count because he's in here. He's actually out there twice because he's got split.
You know, try to do you a favor, help your analytics, and this is the way I get treated.
Well, you got split personality. You're out there with two different names. Then we got Makojo, Vanessa Kitty, Jason, but again, he doesn't count because he's in here too. G23 and Stan from SS Pawn. If you're in Nebraska and you want a good deal on a gun, go see Stan. And that's it for now. The people that have said anything anyway.
Good evening, chat.
Wow.
people.
So just because we're in the chat room and on the panel, we don't matter?
Oh, I didn't even see you out there, Stacy. Yeah, Stacy's out there too.
You see how he treats us?
Only New Yorkers matter.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you're not even out there, Rob. Shut up.
What are we? We worth like 2/5 or something like that. 3/5.
Are you trying to say you're slaves?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Stan says that Snob still owes you the Kimber.
He does.
So Stan's in your corner on that one.
And speaking of Stand, when we came through Lexington, we stopped at his pawn shop. So everybody else, if you're going through Lexington, you won't be disappointed.
It's conveniently located right off the expressway. You can't miss it. It's right next to the Military Vehicle Museum.
Okay. That killed the chat. Everybody mutes up after you say about the military museum. Well, we got a bunch of anti-military people in here. What's up with
You're going down the interstate and you look to your right and there's trucks and tanks and I think they even have a Huey out there. I don't know, it's been a few years. And when you turn off the interstate, you make a right at the first street and you have to drive past Stan's shop in order to get to the gate to go to the museum. So
cool.
It's easy to find.
Yeah. G23 out there yellow in the panel or second-class citizen seems like, hey, at least they have the good grace when they're sending a link to use it, G23. Unlike some people out there in the chat. Not going to mention any names, even though I pretty much just did.
To send him a link, you just open your window and scream, That's how they do it over there in the hood.
Well, Rich don't live in the hood. He lives in the holler.
No.
Not really. That's the same thing. And he's just hollering across the other side, the holler. But G23, over the rap music and everything, he ain't going to hear you. You got to put some bass in it.
No. He's out there in Oregon. He's not going to hear us over the Antifa riot outside his front door.
Okay, Stacy, I'm really not familiar with this platform, so I just Googled it. Full size handgun, 9mm, 5-inch barrel. It's got some really nice sights on this thing. Carbon steel, stainless steel. Okay, so it's not one of these BS plastic guns.
Oh no, it is.
It is.
It's polymer, but it's embedded with tungsten. That thing weighs as much as my 627.
Yeah, that's
weight,
tungsten infused polymer.
43.5 ounces.
Yeah, the thing weighs as much as, like I said, that thing weighs as much as my
I
627.
think technically it's a competition gun. I use it for
Yeah, it is.
With the way these sights are set up and whatnot, I mean, it's got front and rear serrations. Looks pretty good here. There's a good beaver tail on there, so you don't get slide bite. And then it looks like they got two versions here. They've got the standard 17-round mag, and then they got the 10-round compliance mag. Yeah.
That gun's also got a trigger job on it.
Oh yeah, it's a Legion.
Is it adjustable or?
It's not. I forget who did it. It's parts from an aftermarket company in that trigger mechanism. So it doesn't have like stock P320 fire control in it.
Yeah, like Stan says, that SIG is
It's
a
upgraded.
big gun. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
a-
heavy. It's very
it's-
heavy.
Yeah, like I said, it weighs as much as my 627. You've seen pictures of my 627. That is not a small revolver.
They got a good grip to them too. I mean, a grip texture, like the whole frame of the gun texture. It's not like the polymer 320s.
G23 says he doesn't have the Jitsi thing on his phone anymore.
Yeah, that's a nice gun. I like the see the metal frames you can get now.
Yeah, that's the, what is that? The Scorpion, I think.
No, you can get a black one now.
Yeah, I mean, but isn't that what they're calling it? The P320 Scorpion.
They're calling it a classic if you get it in black. It's got Hogue grip. Hogue makes grips for it, and you can get different grips. But you get a metal frame. It's like $400 just for the frame. But if you already got the 320, you know, now you got an all metal. You can basically end up with a new gun, new feeling gun for $400.
Yeah,
now looking at these pictures, it's got lightning cuts on the top. It's got a fiber optic front sight, adjustable rear. The base pads for the mags, they've got a little bit of grip there to them. The texture on them looks like it's good for, you know, if you got sweaty hands or whatever else. See here. See anything else that sticks out? That's just kind of what sticks out for me, just looking at it, not being familiar with it at all.
It was set up to be their like a factory race gun.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Competing like factory divisions, you know what I mean? It's already good to go out of the box.
Yeah,
you know, legal modifications and stuff.
Yeah, we've been joined in the chat, by the way, by Bernie Sanchez and Willed and Well Armed. And Willed and Well Armed brings up what I was going to say. You got the Icarus aluminum frame grips for it too now, the P320, and you can get those for the P365 as well.
Oh wow, this one's a little pricey.
Yeah, it's a Legion.
Yeah,
it's a Legion. Of course it is.
You know, well, yeah, anything SIG's going to be pretty pricey in general.
Anything Legion is going to be pricey. I mean, the base models aren't that bad, but the Legion ones, yeah, you're going to pay a pretty penny for anything that says Legion on it. But you get in that Legion club where you can buy things that anybody else can't buy. Of course, the things you can buy are pretty damn expensive too. But you get the challenge coin, I think, don't you, with the Legions?
I'm not sure, but I think those fancy adjustable sights on there, I think that whole sight plate comes off and you can put a red dot on that.
Yeah.
So you're basically getting a gun that's got an RMR cut, basically.
Yeah, it's cut for an optic.
Yeah, I'm not saying it isn't worth the money, but I guess it's because you get all the, I mean, whatever this Legion thing is, okay, that doesn't impress me.
Legion, Legion is like, Legion's their
Legion credit card, Squib.
It's like the cool guy club.
The SIG Legion is like the Smith & Wesson Performance Center.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, if it offers me points back to turn around and buy another gun with, I'll apply for it.
Yeah, they do have stuff. They have stuff on their website. You have to be a Legion member, just even like see the product or see the price. Mm-hmm. I know they got holsters and other stuff like that for it. Speaking of websites, I saw something funny today, and it kind of makes me not want to do business with them. But I went to Wilson Combat, and they have a little pop-up box that says, due to increased shipping cost, increased labor cost, and other effects of COVID-19, their prices are going to be increased, but yet they haven't took the time to raise the prices on the website. So they have a notice that they'll send you a final invoice before your product's shipped with the correct pricing for what you're buying.
That's great.
The old bait and switch.
That just seems shitty. That seems shitty to you guys too?
Oh, that's pretty damn shady right there.
Yeah,
we don't know how much the price is going to go up, but we'll tell you after you've committed to buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like sign this contract and I'll let you know what the bill is.
Yeah, I was extremely disappointed with them when I seen that. I was gonna get some stuff. I got a Beretta. I needed some stuff to fix, and I already got a bunch of Wilson stuff on it. And I was getting ready to, look for some Beretta stuff for it. But I also been messing with a 1911 all week, doing some things. So I was looking at a couple items for that, and when they come up and ask their new business policy. Nah, I think not, man. That's just kind of shitty. And to put it out like that like they're blaming it on everybody else. Well, just if your price goes up, your price goes up. Just put it on your website. Put it on the price right there before I click add to cart. You know what I mean? Not like make it a guessing game later on how much it costs.
Yeah, we've been joined out in the YouTube chat by the king of the pin people. And he says, just buy a CZ75 SP01.
Yeah, I probably would if there was one sitting on my dealer shelf.
Have them order it.
I guess that ain't happening, man. I've tried to ask for some other stuff, and who they deal their distributors with, man.
You need to find a different gun shop then, man. Come on.
I know Colt's website started putting guns back in, looks like they're in stock again. But I haven't even seen any of them come up on the online dealers yet.
Yeah, Kingpin out there, he got a link too. I mean, he's too good to come in here with us tonight.
But I also learned something about my 1911 magazines. Ruger and Smith and Wesson and Factory Colt magazines, they're all made by the same company. The Smith and Wessons and the Rugers are 100% identical, but they have like a plastic follower, and the Colts got a metal follower. They all have the same patent numbers on them. The material is exactly the same. The exact same machining marks, the exact same everything.
Were you talking about for like a 1911 or something?
Yeah.
Are they all made by ASC?
By the markings off my Colt ones are made by Checkmate.
Okay.
But I swear, I mean, it's not like I know they follow a blueprint. You can take these magazines and actually see the metal work itself, and especially on the flat sides, on the back where it's bent. These all came off the same roll of steel, out of the same factory, made exactly. And every detail, every little mark or anything on them is exactly the same everywhere. The same stamping letters, like just for S, for stainless, it all matches everywhere. You can hold them up. Even like the holes in the side, I know it might be a blueprint. They all match exactly. They're from the same factory, every one of them, and they're all pretty much exactly the same price too. So.
All right, I'm on the Checkmate website right now. So 8-round, 45 ACP, 1911 mag, stainless steel finish, plastic base pad, looks like a metal follower, is $34. Lifetime warranty, free shipping on orders over $200. And yeah, so that's directly from the manufacturer.
Yeah, that's the price. You can get a Colt or a Ruger 7-rounder for, I don't know, $25, $29, whatever. But the Smith & Wessons are all an 8-rounder, and it's the same as the Ruger 8-rounder. Like if you go to Ruger's website, they want something like $38 or something for that 8-rounder. But the Colt with the metal follower is an 8-round magazine. The Ruger's a 7-round magazine with a plastic follower, but they're all exactly the same. There's a C marked on the bottom of my Colts, and it's not for Colt, it's for Checkmate.
They got Desert Eagle mags out of stock. Well, notify me.
You don't even have a Desert Eagle yet.
Hey, if you got the mag, that's a good reason to get one.
You know how many guns I have bought parts for and then bought the gun later. Seriously, I was 16 years old going to the gun show, buying M1 Garand stuff, AR-15 stuff. I mean, I bought a lot of stuff way in advance of having it, and then what do you know? It's out of stock. The manufacturer went out of business. Something changed, and now they make it all out of plastic, and I've got the original metal ones. You name it. Some stuff like the Milsurp stuff, I've saved money by buying it at the time before I had the gun, and then want that accessory 15 years later, and it's double, triple, quadrupled in price.
I know. I'm just busting your balls. That's all.
Oh no, but I do keep mags for guns that I don't own, and I may never own. I've even got a speed loader, and I don't have a centerfire revolver yet.
Yeah, and Gabriel's complaining about Sig mags costing $59. Okay, see this Sig mag right here? You would shit, M. Gabriel, if I told you how much I paid for this one. Anybody want to take a guess how much I paid for this Sig mag?
It's a factory original mag?
Yeah, it's a factory mag. It's a factory Sig mag.
Is it standard capacity?
It's the 12. It's the extended 12-round mag for the P365.
$60.
Not even close. Anybody else want to take a guess?
Dishes a day, Rich.
Anybody else want to take a guess?
$90.
No, you're going the wrong way, Jason. Any other guesses?
Okay, you're implying your inflection implies that this is a very substantially priced mag. Are you saying that? That's
normally it is. Normally it is. If you look at in the chat, M. Gabriel said 59. G23 said 50. G23 is close. He says 35 now. That's close, but still too high. 25 is too low. Paid $32 for these. These are normally
not bad.
No, these are normally $50.
And that's just it. Some of the factory stuff, it's a little bit nicer. And if they definitely made it, it could be worth the money. Or if you're a collector, it's worth the money. But if they're contracting it out and you can get the same thing from the OEM for less money and it's still American made or what have you, why not?
I don't mind paying the $30 range for a magazine. A good quality factory magazine or good company. It just starts to bite me, man, when they're $45, $50 a magazine. Yeah. You're like, come on.
Yeah, I got these. Oh, good.
Well, here's the thing. You could get your standard aluminum 30 round standard capacity AR mag for about $10. All right. You might pay in the teens maybe. All right. But they're about $10. It takes the same amount of material, the same amount of labor, the same to make all these other mags. But they don't make these mags, in some cases, in the quantities. Plus, the AR-15 mag, all that stuff, the government already paid for all the R&D and all that. And in some cases, some of these companies could have been, they could have old tooling from when they used to do government contracts, and they can use that tooling to make civilian stuff. So depending on what model of gun it is, you should be able to enjoy the fact that they make these things in mass. But in general, though, it's not really, I don't think it's the cost to make it. It's the fact that they don't sell these in the quantities they do other mags, other platforms.
Yeah, I got these through a law enforcement supply company that also sells to veterans and military, or I wouldn't have got them for anywhere near $32. And we've been joined out there by Mr. Sandhill Shooter. How you tonight, sir? And how's your wife doing? She doing all right? If you guys don't know, Sandhill's sweetheart had a relapse of her lymphoma, and she's been in the hospital going through chemo. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers, if you would, please. All right, I killed the chat. Everybody got quiet.
Well,
No,
I mean,
no,
it's
definitely,
yeah.
definitely. I was just gonna say, I was thinking of my mother today here on Mother's Day. You know, she fought through cancer twice, and she's been cancer free now for 5 years, 6 years, maybe. But she went through cancer twice, and within 3 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah, he says she's good. She's just tired a lot. Yeah, my brother, when he was going through chemo, he would get his treatments and he would be just beat for days afterwards. That takes a toll on you. Oh, he says she's getting a stem cell transplant. Hopefully, all goes well for you guys. And too been through a lot with this, and hopefully this helps.
That was the last I heard was the stem cell thing. So I was thinking that that would be pretty positive because that's had some good results as far as I know.
Yeah. But yeah, I said hopefully it goes well and surgery goes well. And if she hasn't had it already, I've been so out of touch with everything going on lately with this and that and the other thing with the health, all the nonsense we're going through trying to get this house taken care of and with the sale and that. So I've been following it as well as what I should have been, but yeah, hopefully she does well with the surgery if she hasn't already had it, and hopefully it all goes well.
What's your estimated move-in date?
Shit, man, we don't even got a closing. The closing's not till this Friday coming up, so I'm not even sure yet.
You are you surrounded by boxes? Do you have everything packed up?
Oh, surrounded by boxes. Let me see. Yeah, I'll turn the camera on and you can be the judge. Some of those are empty and some of them are full. Every time my wife goes to work, she's bringing home empty boxes that they ship the medical supplies in because they ship them in these heavy cardboard boxes that, things just aren't going to bust through the bottom of the box. If you've never had that happen, that's a pain in the ass. You pick up a cardboard box and the bottom falls out. These ones are extremely heavy duty, so that doesn't happen with the medical supplies that they get in them.
Baxter, by any chance?
I don't know what brand it is. It's their dialysis supplies, the different acids that they have to use, and the baking soda and stuff
different
like
color tapes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any boxes marked ester of wood rosin?
No, I don't think so. Some of them are just printer paper boxes from the special paper that they have to use for their printing machines.
When they send you those bills.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not for bills. It's the medical record stuff. They got to print out a graph of what all was in the machine when the patient received it, and that goes into their file and all this other stuff. Yeah, she's not in the billing department. Bernie says there's a place in Austin that sells obscure gun parts all the time.
Well, Outcast the one got me on eBay. Now I don't even want to talk about obscure gun parts.
You still trying to find that anti-aircraft site?
Oh no, it's downstairs.
Oh, okay.
And I got more crap on the way. Thanks, Outcast.
No problem.
Well, one of these days I'm going to have to try. Well, I'm not going to have to try to. They're not hard to find, but I got to get a Chinese sling for the Model 53.
Yeah, you should be able to find one it's a surplus one. I know.
Oh yeah, those are a dime a dozen.
Well, I don't know. See, some of that stuff goes in and out of stock.
Well, the Chinese ones, yeah. Anytime I look for them, I can find them. I just haven't bought one.
But is it a Chinese Type 56 sling that's surplus, or is it a Chinese reproduction of a Russian sling, and you go, "What's the difference?" From a collector standpoint, there's a difference.
Yeah, I know. The condition that thing's in, I would have to get the real Chinese one. That thing is, you've seen it. I've shown it before. That thing is in immaculate condition.
I remember when nobody wanted those things, and then they stopped importing them, and then suddenly the prices went up on all of it.
Well, hell, those ones were, the import of those was stopped before they stopped the import of the Russian ones. I mean, that thing, the import of that, thanks George Herbert Walker Bush. That's one of the ones that was banned from his dumbass.
Oh, you can put that back on the screen.
Did Rob have a baby?
There's something he hasn't been sharing with us.
He thought he had kidney stones.
Stolen goods, man. Stolen goods.
Well, I thought you were going to put it back on the camera.
Stacy wants to see the baby, is what she's telling you.
Oh,
Looky there.
how old?
You don't have a Smith and
Yeah,
Wesson
she's
shirt on that
relaxing.
baby yet?
No, she should get one at some point.
Yeah, Stacy was asking how old the baby is.
Not old. It's not mine.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Sure.
Well, we know that. You
Well,
said
yeah,
it.
when you don't know the damn answer of how old it is, we kind of figured
Now,
it was.
now, hold on a minute. There are times I forget things about my kids.
Yeah, I was going to say, just because that it could still be theirs and they still not know. Snob was
Name-
there.
5 weeks.
I don't
Names,
remember how old his kids
5
are.
weeks, he said. He said 5 weeks.
names,
Aw.
ages. You should be on this pretty quick.
See, the thing is, with
you
the
know
first
she's too
one,
young, Jason.
with the first one, you remember everything, and the second one, you remember most things, and after that, it's kind of like, how many kids do we got again?
It's like, which one are you?
Unless you're a mother, then you remember all of them.
Well, at least on Mother's Day, you better. I mean, for Pete's sakes, you're getting a gun.
Hey, I took
I'm telling you.
I took 2 of my daughters with me to the gym.
Gun Tony Pacifist is trying to start a fight out there. He says that kid needs a Glock shirt.
Hey,
Oh,
pacifist.
that is so wrong.
I
Yeah,
don't know. He's
this is our youth, our future of America, a precious, innocent baby child.
Yeah,
You-
right.
You can't glock that up.
no.
Now, see, this is what you ought to do. You ought to hold up a shield and then hold up a Glock and see the child's reaction. And depending on the reaction is it's an indication of how things are going to go forever.
That baby needs a every second matters.
Yeah, that's what the baby needs, an every
Yeah.
second matters shirt.
And a little hat. A
Yeah, little
bib,
hat
a
with the patch
onesie.
on it.
Has little socks, little footy socks, man. Needs decked out.
Yeah.
Needs a diaper and it needs to be on the back.
Every second matters, yeah. A glow in the dark one.
Needs a little muley rig too to put around. Get it a little
There we go.
plate carrier. Do they make baby size plate carriers? Put a
Yeah,
baby
that's
size plate carrier.
better.
Smith
That's a
and
lot
Wesson.
better.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a name.
Trouble.
Name him Striker. Oh,
Yeah,
there
there
we
you
go.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't cry, little buddy. No.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He's
Gotta
screaming
bail,
for
hold on.
freedom.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's the infringements.
Yeah. That kid's yelling for mommy. Mommy, he keeps putting patches on me. Get me away from me and Uncle Rob.
I'm gonna get him. That baby needs a MAGA hat. That's what he needs. Do they make little baby clothes that say like "Come and take it" on it?
I don't know, but
know.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody does.
Luciana is the name. I want to make sure I didn't mess it up.
Is that kid Sicilian?
Urban.
Okay, he's definitely gonna need a nickname.
Yeah, the little ones love me till they get about 7 and they realize they gotta start listening to shit, and they don't like me no more.
Jason, yes, they do. Come and take it, infant onesie.
Yep.
It's available. Oh, but it's got a bottle on it instead of a cannon. It's got the star and a bottle, and it's like the Gonzalez flag. That's awesome.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, we got a Gizzard Gary sighting out there in the chat. He says, "Hey everybody."
Hey, Gizzard Gary.
And we got a Tim S out there. I don't know if I've seen him before. I don't remember, unless he's changed his name from something else. So, evening, Tim.
Welcome, Tim.
Oh, and Snob out there too. Do we want to say hi to that guy? He's out there calling Gizzard old. He's calling him a geezer. That's rude. That's rude.
Geezer Gary?
Yeah. I mean, it's factual, but it's still rude.
Now, you guys leave Snob alone. He's got a R&L protection. Okay, you don't want to mess with that.
How much did he pay you?
Just a good picture.
Yeah, speaking of the R&L thing, there's a link to that for those of you who haven't got your R&L display yet for your AR-15. There you go. Get over there and buy one. Now, Tim says it is his first time here. Well, welcome to the chat, sir. Let's pin that to the top. So.
Welcome, Tim. Unfortunately, the first time you're here, you always got to pay for the pizza. So,
pizza? We have pizza? When did that become a thing?
It sucks the first time around, but it's great every time after.
Bernie says, first kid, check the temperature of the milk, cover up. Second kid, cover them up. After that, crayons are a good food group, right? It's about the extent of
it. Yeah. Bunch of people over, family, and house full of dang women. Got one guy here, but he's only like 2, so we've been hanging out, but it just ain't the same, you know?
No, you need to take him outside and teach him how to start shooting now when he's young.
Yeah. It wasn't so cold and rainy out.
Oh, raining. Same thing there, too? God damn, I know.
Yeah, it's pretty damn cold.
Yeah. Let's see if the temperature has gone down any farther yet.
I'd get him up to the attic and BB gun shooting range, but I haven't checked it in quite a while, so
it's still in
probably
the
need to do that.
Yeah, it's still in the mid-50s here, but it's still raining too. So
it's 41 here with a frost warning.
Yeah, I said earlier, Scotsman was saying something about they're calling for snow up there in northern Ohio. God, I can't even talk. This is what happens when you've been on almost 7-hour chat before taking an hour break, and then you got to come in here and do this show.
Yeah, you talk too much.
Whose chat were you on?
You're a marathoner.
Echoes. Echo did a Mother's Day chat since Gary wasn't doing a show.
And what was it, like 6 hours, wasn't it?
No, it was almost 7.
Okay, because I popped in a couple times and I was trying to listen while I was doing some other work, but I had to step away.
Echo, the Echo with the cat logo, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. One that's always commenting in the chats and all that.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yep,
I didn't realize they did a show or anything like that.
Well, he's been around for a while. He decided that since it was Mother's Day and Gary wasn't doing his show, he went and did one. He started around noon. We finished right around time Scotsman went live, actually.
I hope you guys have done something nice today. Yeah, shoot, I've had to do dishes. Now I'm going to have to do another load of dishes.
Shit, man, we got a
Got a dishwasher.
Yeah, we got a dishwasher. Fuck that.
Yeah, but nobody ever freaking rinses anything. So.
Yeah, Echo Reloading, M. Gabriel, yeah. Echo's Reloading Chamber. Used to be Echo and the Bunnymen, but, I guess he got sued by the band from the 80s or something.
My dishwasher is maybe 10 feet away from me right now and running. Can you hear it?
No, not really.
Yeah, it's really quiet, and then every now and then it'll beep or make a noise. And what was that? Because the cycle runs so long, and I kind of forget that it's on. It's so quiet.
Yeah. Oh, Tim S says that it was on Echo's chat where he subbed to me. Okay, well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
But now they were saying that this circuit board shortage that's affecting my industry is going to affect things like appliances and computers. Well, Rich, you were talking about that.
Oh yeah. You want to talk about that? I was watching a tech news thing before Echo did his show earlier, and it's going to get worse. They're having a serious drought over in Taiwan where most of these damn things are made, and they may have to close the region of Taiwan where the factory is because of lack of water.
Gas prices going up, food going up. Bet a lot of you are stressing now after buying all those guns with that supposedly free money.
No.
I haven't bought any guns. Mine's all sitting in the bank as a part of the house pay for the payment on the house.
What they'll do in my industry, well, it's what they're already doing. And they did this last summer too, when there was a semiconductor shortage. It just wasn't as big or didn't last as long. They'll do rotating layoffs where they'll shut a plant down for 1 or 2 weeks, and then they'll shut another one down. And they just, that way they don't have all their plants down at the same time. Another thing they can do is they can build these things up to a certain point without putting in the components, and then literally just go out in the parking lot and just have a crew put these in. I've seen that before with some I guess you could say recall type issues where during production they found out something was bad and they had to rush to get a bunch of replacement parts in all these cars that are ready to go on the rail cars and ship out. Another thing, like for me, I do plant maintenance. So if we're shut down for a week, that means we got a week to catch up on fixing stuff. So we'll be in there, and there'll be a couple other departments in there working, and they'll just have the production people laid off for a week. They'll get a week of unemployment, and they might even qualify for the extra federal money because it's sort of COVID related. I don't know it. I don't know how that exactly works out, but I know not every industry is gonna do like that, but there'll be a demand built up, and then when the components do become available, they'll have everybody on mandatory overtime.
Yeah, and if anybody out there is wondering why the water supply in Taiwan would affect the chip production, they use water in the chip production to cool the machines, and they have to use fresh water for it and clean the chips as they're cutting them. And some of the chips are actually cut using a water jet, and it has to be fresh water. And right now, Taiwan has almost zero fresh water supply left. They're trying everything they can to get water over there. They've tried desalination, and they're not able to produce enough that way. They have tried bombing the clouds with the stuff they use to seed the clouds to make it rain, and that's not working. They have
silver iodine or something.
Yeah, by now they would have had at least 4 monsoons go through Taiwan, and they haven't been hit by anything. They're hoping that in the next couple of months they get at least 5 of them, or they're going to be in serious trouble where it comes to water supply. They are in real bad shape over there.
Now, here's the thing. Why don't we take advantage of this and use it as a way? Well, I know why. I'm not why I asked the question, but say, all right, we need to bring some manufacturing back to America. And this is where our government should be stepping in, saying, what sort of incentives can we give these companies to set up shop in America where we've got more security for this? We've got more, we won't have a supply chain issue as bad in the future if it's here as opposed to abroad. But I can answer my own question. The government will fail to do anything that makes any sense. Instead, they'll just do other stuff.
Yeah, it takes years to get one of these factories up and running that produces these things anyway. Intel's trying. Intel actually has a manufacturing center here for their CPUs, but it's only used for their CPUs. It's not used for the video cards. It's not used for the car processors and stuff. And it doesn't have the output to even pick up the slack if, say, NVIDIA wanted to buy CPU or GPU chips from them. So it's like, Intel's not going to sell to them anyway, because now Intel is working on their own video card line, so they're not going to sell to NVIDIA. They won't sell their product to NVIDIA anyway.
And I'm not saying, oh, we'll just build a factory overnight and we're good to go next week. No, I'm saying if it takes years, then let's give some company an incentive.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah,
so that in years to come, we're covered. But that would require the government to do something logical, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
or at least warehouse parts.
Right. Yeah. Well, they can't do that with the CPUs because these things sell like this. They are fast sell, especially with the crypto craze right now. The crypto craze.
This has been going on for what, 8 years? With video cards?
No, this is fair. This is just recent. This all start. Yeah,
8 years ago when the crypto and the currency mining started.
It wasn't as big. It was not a problem back then as like it is now. There was a small problem back then.
Price went up.
Not like it is now, Jason. It's nowhere near like what it is now. Now it's a multiple layered problem now. 1, COVID. 2, crypto miners. 3, the issue that I was just talking about with the manufacturing center in Taiwan. The fact that there's not enough production to meet the demand because you got all the homeschooling and everything. So you got people at the ass buying computers that normally wouldn't be buying computers when they were buying computers. It's the perfect storm for these things to be in short supply, because you got the mining of the materials used to make the CPUs is down because of COVID. It's a multifaceted problem, and there's not one solution that's going to fix everything.
So basically, too, in the long run, technology advancement is on hold.
No, they still have enough to where they can innovate new products. They still are. The problem is there's not enough for them once they innovate to put it on the market right now.
See, what's happening is just about the time more vehicles are showing up at the dealerships, they've got to idle the plants because they don't have semiconductors. Just about the time more appliances are available or electronics are available at the stores, they've got to idle the plants because of a lack of semiconductors. It's like we were just getting caught. It'd be like if there was a run on toilet paper again, you'd be like, really? Thought we were over this. But if some sort of, I don't know, toilet paper eating moth decided to destroy the national supply, we'd be right. It's like we just got because like things like disinfectant and whatnot, they've been in the stores for a couple months. But prior to that, that stuff was kind of hit or miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. And the same things happen with other durable goods. I was kind of hoping that we'd start to see lumber prices come down, but that ain't happening either.
Yeah. But to your point, Jason, with the video cards back in when cryptocurrency, Bitcoin first became big, video cards went up $100, $200, maybe $250. They are going up 5 times what they should be. You get a $400 card today, that thing's selling for almost $2,000. It's
Oh, that's
ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah. You can build, you used to be able to build a really, really good gaming computer for what the price of just a video card now is selling for. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
If everybody wasn't sitting on their ass playing games all day, it wouldn't be a problem.
No, it's the cryptocurrency is one of the major problems. And the cryptocurrency is about to hit your storage devices too, because there's one of the cryptocurrency companies that's talking about they're going to start mining using storage devices. In other words, the little SSDs and the flash memory cards that are in your computers, your phones, your tablets, your TVs, your cable box, whatever uses electronic storage devices. So yeah, you got server farms like what Will Arndt was talking about. Yep, good luck if you want to buy a home server. If that happens, you're not going to be able to find one of them either. Companies are going to sell to the crypto miners first because that's where the money is, just like they'll sell to business first. That's what's happening with video cards. The crypto miners who have the money aren't having any trouble getting the video cards. Why? Because the companies are selling directly to them. You as a consumer cannot buy directly from AMD or NVIDIA. The cryptocurrency people can. And then, of course, when you have any hit in the market, you got the scalpers using their bots and buying them up faster than you can get a hold of one, which is why places like Newegg have started a lottery where you get your name goes into a hat, and if they pull your name when they get supply in, you got the opportunity to buy one. And it sucks that they have to go to that measure, but that's the way it is. And then we talked about the other night during the wrestling show, I think it was, where Linus Tech Tips, the one YouTube tech channel, is actually when he can get a hold of them, is putting them for sale on his store, but you have to certify and prove that you're a regular person before you can buy one. And he's selling them.
You don't have to do any of that shit at R&L Displays. We help everybody.
Well, you don't put video cards in your things either. But he's trying to avoid having scalpers go in and buy up all his video cards and then putting them on eBay for 5 times what they're actually worth. He's selling them to people at MSRP, which you can't find any at that right now. If you're lucky, you may find one on Newegg that's one of the AMD or NVIDIA reference cards that are being sold directly by them on Newegg. But as soon as they put them up there, they're gone like that instantly. People are desperate. You got people that just build computers and can't use it because they don't have a video card, particularly if you got an AMD machine, because AMD CPUs, unless you have one of the old APUs, doesn't have onboard graphics on it. Whereas the Intel ones, some of them do and some of them don't, because AMD hasn't made the new current generation APUs available to the public yet. You can get one in a laptop or a pre-built, but you can't buy one like you can the regular CPUs. For those of you who don't know, an APU, AMD's APUs are the CPU that have the integrated graphics on it, like how Intel does with theirs. But most of your Intel CPUs are going to have integrated graphics, so at least you can turn your computer on to see if it works after you built it, even if you don't have a video card. You can't do that with AMD because there's no graphics processor on the CPU. Which is why I bought a pre-built and just upgraded the parts that needed upgraded on it, just so I could get the goddamn video card when I had to buy one back in December.
Should just bought a Smith & Wesson.
I got a few of those. If I might not be able to do this show right now, Rob, if I went to buy the computer, man. Come on. You'd just be staring at the wall and having to put up with a bunch of women right now. So you should be thankful I bought that computer.
Be doing dishes to Pandora or audiobooks.
Sounds like you're doing dishes by hand right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I'm rinsing them, reloading the dishwasher, washing the pots and pans by hand because they can't go in there.
Yeah, Wheeled and Will Arms says R&L has a smart stand with a holographic display and uses 3 chips coming out soon. Is that right, Rob? And notice no comment.
Of course.
The batteries are in the magazine, right? Or the magazine's just a big battery pack. Is that how that's going to work?
Powered by the electricity in the air.
Oh, okay. So you're going to use Tesla's model for powering it.
Tesla coil.
Okay. That'll be Nikola Tesla, not the Tesla automobile company. Don't want to confuse anybody.
Not the rock band either.
Yeah, not the rock band either. Even though they were named for Nikola Tesla, and of course so was the car company. But yeah. Now we're teaching scientists history. Nikola Tesla is the one that came up with AC current. If he wouldn't have came around, everything would be battery powered, and that wouldn't be good.
Kerosene powered.
No. Because remember, AC was competing with DC. DC was Edison's idea, and alternating current was Tesla's idea, and Tesla eventually.
No, that was Hell's Bells.
No, that was the band AC/DC. We're talking about direct current and alternating current, which, by the way, is where AC/DC got their name for. I forget what they were looking at, but it was some electronic device, and they saw on there where the sticker said AC
Sewing
and DC.
machine.
Yeah, it was AC/DC. Remember, like their logo, like the band's logo that was on the sticker on the item, which meant that it could use be plugged into the wall or use battery power, and that's where they got their name from. Was the sticker on the. Not Rob. Jason said it was a sewing machine, so that's where they got their band name. They stole it from that. But yeah. Westinghouse is the one that marketed the AC, but it was Tesla that came up with it, competing against Edison. Yeah, and Edison used the AC to shock the elephant to show people how dangerous Tesla's idea was. And it backfired on him. Tesla got the last laugh, even if it was posthumously, when everybody started using AC to power things and not DC. DC was relegated to your flashlight, whereas all your other lights in your house were AC.
Edison's house was, he lived like 15 minutes from here when he was like a boy or whatever. But about an hour away, up in Norwalk, they got his house, and he had 3 or 4 houses all right in one little neighborhood. They're all like next door, and he's got a little workshop behind every one of them. Built a little like sidewalk in between them all, so they got his museum up there and all his work benches and his houses and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. They got the bigger Edison Museum out there in New Jersey, where his lab and everything was too. Forget what town in New Jersey he did most of his work at. But, yeah.
They've got his stuff in Port Huron and Dearborn as well.
It used to be a old Westinghouse factory in Pittsburgh on the north side. It had a light bar that went across the building, and it lit up with the Westinghouse logos. And then it blinked for a little while, and it would go off. But it would like light one part of each W. It was really cool. Then it would light the circle that went around the W. It was a cool sign to watch when you're a kid. Watch that thing light up while you're on the other side of the river fishing or what have you. But they tore that building down when they built PNC Park. Yeah, M. Gabriel might remember the old. He's from Pittsburgh. He might remember the old Westinghouse building. It used to be on the north side. Yep, lots of stuff on the lower north side's not there anymore from when they built Heinz Field and PNC Park. Tore down a lot of stuff in that area. Joined out there by Ghost Tactical. Evening Ghost. Yeah, well, now that we've gone down the depressed part of them destroying my childhood in Pittsburgh to build 2 sports stadiums, same thing. Anybody else got anything else they want to talk about? Yeah. Yeah, then Gabriel says there were some huge number of permutations of lights on the Westinghouse sign. Yeah, that sign was really cool to walk on there. Oh, yeah, Clark Bar. My grandfather worked for Clark Candy. We used to get all kinds of Clark Candy fresh made right off the factory floor, man. He'd bring it home in big plastic bags, Sag Nuts, Clark Bars, the little Clark BBs, which were like the little ball-shaped Clark candies, which are the same thing as the Clark Bar, but they were like almost like Jawbreaker size. Yeah, man.
Whose bright idea was it to make a field out of ketchup? And that just sounds stupid.
It's sponsored by Heinz, man. But they do have giant ketchup bottles on the scoreboard. They never show it on TV.
It's more like mustard.
But whenever they score a touchdown, the ketchup bottles tip over, and there's lights that looks like ketchup pouring out of the bottles onto the scoreboard. It's actually pretty cool. They show when we went on the tour of Heinz Field, they showed how that worked and everything. It's really cool.
Heinz didn't run.
Well, it does when you tilt the bottle upside down. You tilt the bottle and the ketchup pours out. But, I'm trying to see. G23 said to read his comment to you. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have a chat visible.
Yeah, no, he was there. It is. He said, New York Outcast, if you were washing them by hand, why waste money with the dishwasher? Save money and just use the damn dishwasher. No response from Rob on that one.
All right, bud. You can't wash all of them in a dishwasher. Non-stick is a no-go. Okay, there's certain things you're just not supposed to put in there, so you got to do it by hand. The other stuff technically could have went in a dishwasher, and I could have hit the button, but the dishwasher was previously full from me doing them a few hours ago. So I'm doing back-to-back over here, buddy. Get off my ass.
The only thing I've got that I can't put in the dishwasher is that beer glass that I bought when we were at the Hard Rock Cafe. It faded it.
Yeah, I'm earning them points. That's all you need to know about that.
Yeah, that came directly from the lady there. So, okay. Well, we'll let you go on that one. But M. Gabriel says Clark Bars are good, better than Butterfinger. I'll agree to that.
Yeah, Clark Bars are the best.
Clark Bars are awesome, especially when they started actually making them with the milk chocolate instead of the imitation chocolate. Their imitation chocolate was probably some of the best imitation chocolate you'd want to taste, though. But they're even better now that they started using actual milk chocolate on them.
You know, you didn't do a Easter candy bracket this year.
No, we didn't do a bracket for Easter this year. But, how many years do you do a Easter candy bracket for, though? We would have to come up with something else for Easter, and I can't think of anything else to do for Easter, so we just didn't do a bracket for Easter.
You do it as many times as it takes till the winner's not snot-filled eggs.
Well, it wasn't last year.
It was Cadbury snot-filled eggs.
It was not the nasty cream one. It was the caramel. The caramel Cadbury eggs are good. It's
Like I
the
just
cream
said.
ones that are bad.
The snot-filled eggs.
Peeps are not the best snob. Peeps are just marshmallows decorating as candy.
Who
The
said
only
that,
thing
Snob?
Peeps- the
Yeah,
only
Snob.
thing pizza is good for is to go in the trash can.
Or to blow up in the microwave. But then you have to clean that mess up. Yeah, my grandfather worked for Clark Candy for, 40-some years before he retired. I was spoiled as a kid. He would walk up to our house. We lived within walking distance of the Clark Candy factory on the north side. And he walked to work every day. He didn't take a bus or anything. And he would stop by our house at least once a week, dropping off fresh candy right off the assembly line.
Chocolate milkshake. Triple chocolate.
Rob's going to be hyper as hell.
Brownie Sunday.
Is that a bowl of Oreos or? Oh, the little brownies. Okay. Yep, Rob is definitely going to be hyper.
That doesn't look very healthy, Rob.
No, it doesn't at all, does it? No wonder he was eating fruit all weekend. He's making up for the night.
All in moderation.
Now, do you eat all day, Rob, or you just wait till dark before you start eating dinner?
Are you trying to assume that Rob is
Oh, he's
secretly a
on
Muslim?
breakfast
And he's,
right now?
What kind do you want?
yeah, are you trying to say
Let's
that he's
start
secretly
around.
a Muslim and that he's fasting for Ramadan, which, if you know anything about the Muslim faith, it's not really fasting. They just don't eat during the day and then eat all kinds of shit at night.
Start around dinner. And sometimes I munch through the night.
Jesus. No, Squib hasn't even brought up Islam, and now I'm going off on Islam. See what you started, Squib? It's all your fault from Saturday night.
Fuck Islam.
Exactly. Now, who's that kid?
Brownies make you happy.
Who is that? Whose kid's that one?
It's R&L daycare.
It's R&L daycare.
Yeah. Daddy daycare. R&L's daddy daycare.
Why you got them kids up so late, man? What the hell's wrong with you people?
Yeah, right. And not only that,
Eating a
but they're
bunch of
giving
chocolate.
them
They're
ice
loading them
cream.
up to send their ass
Uh-huh.
home.
It's 10 o'clock at night, and they're filling these kids up on ice cream and brownies. You know they're not
Right
his
before they
kids.
go home.
If it was his kids, he wouldn't be doing this because they'd be bouncing all over the place, and he'd never get them to bed. So you know they're not his kids. He's giving all this ice cream and brownies to.
Wash it all down with some sugar straws.
Yeah, pixie sticks. Put the pixie stick goes in the milkshake as the straw. Dear Lord, Rob. Their parents are gonna love you, man.
Rob's an evil person.
Uh-huh.
And on a school night.
Yeah. He gets to send them home to their parents. M. Gabriel says that Ruger sales are up 50%. G23 says that he definitely didn't see a salad and that was another stolen child.
I like to get a new Ruger.
Anything
Again,
in particular?
Another 1911.
10 millimeter?
I've been working on. Yeah, I'll take a 10 millimeter.
All right.
I've been working on this Colt Ruger 1911 I've had all week, touching a few things up. It's all polished up. Changed the sights on it. Changed the extractor. I've been filing on the bottom. I rounded off the bottom of the mainspring housing, got rid of that sharp flat point. I kept comparing it. My Colt 1911's just got it's like angled off down there anyways. It's not a sharp point like this one was. So I just kind of attempted to match that, and it came out great. It looks just like it was bought in that way. Feels great. Feels perfect. All I got to do is touch it up with a little bluing. But I think I'm going to change the grip safety on this. The gun's real nice. Everything's good about it, but the grip safety is extremely sloppy on this gun. It kind of cocks over to the right side, and you can feel it hitting the inside of the frame right before the trigger bow. It's got like it's almost got like a click in it before it goes home. It's just poorly fitted. So I'm going to fix that up, and it's a pretty nice gun. I'd like to have another one.
Yeah, Snob out there says that the 1076 is better than the 10 millimeter 1911 until you look at the sticker price on the magazines for that 1076, in which when you buy 3, 4, 5 magazines, you could have just went out and bought the 10 millimeter 1911 for the same price as the magazines.
Well, the Ruger 10 millimeter comes with like Bomar sights on the back. They're pretty cool too. They come with a bushingless barrel and stuff. They're pretty cool. I'd like to try one there.
Well, I didn't get to tell you last weekend, I don't think, but the pawn shop had the perfect 40 Smith & Wesson caliber handgun for you, Jason. They had 3 Model 96s.
3 of them, huh? Brand new?
Yeah.
I think I saw a couple on the internet not long ago. I think Grab a Gun had some.
Yeah, Snob says that's a good point. I'm about the cost of the magazines, being able to buy the 1911.
Well, now that I hate to really even buy another 1911 that's not a Colt. This Ruger's really cleaning itself up nice, fixing itself up nice. I wouldn't mind trying another one of these just to maybe go all out on it. Maybe change everything on it to stainless, some aftermarket parts. But most definitely, if the Colts are back in stock, there's 3 or 4 on my list I want from them right out of the get-go, just as soon as I get a hold of them. Hey, actually, these Ruger 1911s aren't exactly cheap anymore either, man.
Yeah, the cost of that 1076 plus the magazines he bought, yeah, you could have bought 2 of those Rugers.
Yeah, I've seen these Rugers creeping up there in the $800-900 range.
Again, you could have bought 2 of them for the cost of the gun and the magazines that he paid. So yeah, I stand by my statement.
Yeah, but these Rugers, you know, like if you want to just try to put like $100-200 in it, you know what I mean? It's a pretty nice gun. But once you start going over that, you might as well just go buy a Colt.
Yeah, I mean, he paid almost $1,000 for the gun and then another $400 for the magazines. So I mean, it's yeah, you could have got 2 of the Rugers. Granted, they don't make the 1076 or the magazines for it anymore. So.
These suck if that gun breaks or anything. You ought to see what kind of replacement springs and parts and shit you can get now before they're totally gone.
Yeah, right. If they're not already gone.
You know, I'd hate to shoot a spring across the room and you can't find it or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. G23 says he's shocked that Rob isn't saying just get an M&P.
Could got 5 MMPs.
for the price of what's not.
Just get an M&P.
15 magazines and a free range bag.
I got an M&P right here. I also got an HK USP right here too, so, that I was showing off earlier on Echo's show. We were talking about. We actually talked a good bit about the 40 Smith & Wesson cartridge actually earlier. So I went and grabbed my USP and was, because I told him about that they had how HK, to prevent what was going on with the Glock 23 and the Glock 22 at the time, how they did their recoil system. He was like, "Oh, I got to see that." I was like, "Okay, I'll go grab my gun," and I broke it down and was showing him how that all fits together. And he was like, "Wow, that's crazy." Well, you were there for that, weren't you, Squid? Or was that before you? Was that after you?
I was there for that, but I was actually stepping away from the desktop off and on because I was shooting a video and coming back and editing it and going back to shooting more footage. So I caught parts of it.
M. Gabriel wants to know if a Glock is just as good as a Taurus G3.
No. I'll take the Taurus.
Yeah, me too. But it's, in my case, it's because of that grip angle on my wrist. I don't shoot Glocks for shit. They're not comfortable for me to hold and try shooting them.
3 Glocks, negative experience. 1 Taurus, well, the G2, same difference, I guess. I've been told it's the 2 and 3 are really close and surprisingly positive. But that's me, and that's you. For somebody else, it might be the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. If it's me, I'm taking the Taurus over the Glock every day. But like I said, I don't shoot Glocks well because the grip angle and stuff, it's not comfortable for me to hold the handgun at that. Now, if I had a Glock and had it in one of those Ronies that turns it basically into a PDW, that would be a different situation. At that point, that grip angle is almost like what an AR-15s would be. So in that situation, it's a good grip angle. But as a handgun, where you're holding it out there like you would a handgun, no, that grip angle's bad for me. It just bugs the hell out of my wrist. I cannot shoot those things comfortably.
Now, see, when I was a teenager reading Guns and Ammo magazine, Glock was the new Wonder 9, right? And I wanted a Glock. I wanted one of these indestructible guns. I mean, they're showing them throwing these things loaded, chambered, out of a helicopter onto concrete to see if they would go off because they got that safe action. And then they had the Glock 18, and I was like, oh, man, I got to have one of these. 19 rounds in 1.1 seconds and just all this other stuff. And the first handgun I ever handled was a Glock 17. But it wasn't we didn't do any shooting. I just got to hold it. And it was years, many, many years later when I shot my very first Glock, and I couldn't stand it. And I tried it in 2 other calibers, and I just didn't like it. Now, I will say this. I have not shot a full-size Glock, and I've had some people tell me that it might be different if I shot a full-size. I've shot
the Glock
compact
17 is.
Yeah,
Glock
but I
17 is
handled
a
it.
full-size.
Handling and shooting it are 2 different things.
Okay, I misunderstood you.
The first handgun that I ever put in my hand was a Glock 17. But that's all I did was hold it. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I thought you said you shot it. Okay.
No. But I've shot a subcompact and compact frame in 3 different calibers and did not like them at all. And the Glocks have got good sights. And I mean, the fact that you've got all that aftermarket support and everything else, and the whole, does it take Glock mags? How many things take Glock mags? I'm not knocking the Glock itself. I do think that the way the company handles things, as far as the fact that it's the same freaking gun. It's literally subcompact, compact, and full size. You've got a couple long slides, and they look the same. Okay, you can get them in different colors and all that, but I mean, it's really that they don't go outside of. They don't have a pistol caliber carbine, despite the fact that everybody. I know you can put it in a Roni, but I'm saying their customers are asking for this, and they don't care. But they don't have to, because they're making hand over fist because the notoriety, all the government contracts and all that other stuff. And because they have those government contracts, the Glock should actually cost less than what they charge for it. I'm sure they make a pretty decent profit off of those things. I do think it's a good gun. I think it's overpriced for what it is, but that's just my opinion. But when people hear me complain about Glocks, just because I don't like them, they get really defensive and offended.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing about Glocks I don't like are all the Glock fanboys. They ruin it.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
That's what I was about to say.
The gun, even if I like the gun, I wouldn't want it because of all the people out there. It's like, well, if it ain't Glock, it ain't,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't even know if it's so much that I don't like Glocks. Like you said, everything you said is valid. They're a good gun, but we were talking about it earlier on Echo Show. They're a good gun. They're good at everything, but they're not great at any one thing. So they're a jack of all trades kind of gun. And most people, they can pick up a Glock and they can shoot it well and whatnot. Other people, like you and me, we just have reasons why we don't like them. But it's not to say that they're not a good gun. They just don't work for us. But you get the really hardcore Glock fanboys, you say that, and they go ballistic.
G23.
Well, M. Gabriel does say that he thinks that G23 may be biased. I mean, yeah, that's a given. I mean, G23 is definitely biased towards the G23.
The first handgun I ever shot was an M9, and I do have a bias towards those because I think they're ergonomic. They're user friendly. They do a lot of things. They're not perfect either. And to tell you the truth, if you ever seen me shoot one, you'd be like, you sure you like this gun? I love the gun. I'm not very accurate with it. Honestly, I've never been very accurate with an M9. I'm a lot more accurate with a 1911. But I don't tell everybody, man, if it ain't an M9, it ain't crap. This just and that's the thing. The fanboys kind of ruin it. And I think that the company Glock itself, they're going to be around. They've got something that people want. They've got, they're well dug in and built in, but they could be so much more. And it's just not the way they want to run their company. Yeah, I think at some point I will eventually own a used Glock if I find a good price on one, just to have a Glock in my collection, and it'll probably be a full mouth. No, I just have one, just to have one, right?
I've always said if I get a Glock, it's going to be to put it in one of those Roni things, and that's the only thing it's going to be for. But I'm going to correct myself. There is one thing that Glock has been great at: marketing.
Marketing, yes, but think about how they fall short as far as they don't make anything other than the same gun over and over again. It works. It makes money. I mean, if you have bean counters looking at what they're doing, they say, bravo, well done. But from a consumer standpoint, I'm disappointed in the company. But they don't care. They're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because their marketing department, I mean, if you look, when they first came out, how did they get word of mouth around about the guns? They sold them dirt cheap to just about every police department in the country and other police departments around the world. And that you have the cops using them. People started seeing them in movies because the cops were using them in the movies. That's how Glock got their fame. That started because of how cheaply they were selling them to police departments. So everybody saw the cops with them. People started thinking these must be good guns if the cops are using them, right? So I mean, that was their marketing was to sell them to the police at their cheap prices, have people see that the police had them, marketed the fact that these were the guns being used by police officers to defend their lives. So aren't they good enough to defend your life too? And then that's where it was on from there.
And from to a certain standpoint, there could be a lot of law enforcement officers out there whose first handgun they ever shot was their issue sidearm, their Glock, right? Or they carry this thing every day. They train with this thing. This is their service sidearm. And they've gotten so used to it that they've learned to like it, or this is all they've known, or whatever it is. And that stuff kind of permeates into the community as far as somebody saying, hey, my uncle will teach you how to shoot. He's a cop, right? Or a retired cop writes an article about, how great their Glocks were the whole time. When I got my M9 in the military, I wasn't excited. I had seen Lethal Weapon. I had seen Die Hard. I knew what a 92 FS was. Thought it was a sexy looking gun and all that stuff. But when I got it, I was like, aw, because they had 1911s in the armory. And I wanted to carry a 1911. And even though I'd never fired a handgun in my life, and when I got to shoot it, I was not very accurate with it at all. But the thing is, I carried it on a regular basis. I got used to it. It's easy to take down and clean. It's not like I can't hit the target at all with it. It's not uncomfortable to shoot. It fits in my hand really well. I got used to it. And the first handgun I bought when I got out of the military was an M9. And I still like the gun. I carry it, from time to time when I open carry and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, I'm so much better with a 1911. And so I can appreciate where law enforcement might be coming with if they've fallen in love with it only because they carry it all the time. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best gun out there.
Yeah. Gary brings up a point.
I'll pray for you, Squib.
Yeah, Gary brings up a point that I want to get to real quick. He says they have the Roni micro conversion kit for Smith & Wesson pistols also. You don't have to own a Glock. Yeah, I know. They also just started pre-orders on them for the CZ P10C and the P10F. And I still, if I were going to get one though, I would the conversion kit, that is, I would probably still get it for Glock and put a Glock in it, because like I was saying, when you're talking about a weapon that you're not shouldering, the Glock grip angle then has more of a rifle type angle to it. So it's going to be that possibly is going to be a better grip angle for a weapon that you're holding at that position, if that makes sense. So that's why I said if I were going to do a Glock, it would be in the micro conversion kit, because at that point, if you look at the grip angle that's on a rifle, the Glock grip angle, it lends itself better to that than say a Smith & Wesson grip angle would, which Smith & Wesson basically uses the same grip angle as the 1911 does. And I think the SIG, I think SIG and CZ do as well. So that would be why I would do the Glock one.
Fan club member.
G23 says, don't tell Rob or Jason that he really likes the Beretta. Oops, too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a Beretta. It's all Jason's fault.
There you go.
Sent me that damn, can't think of his name now, but Beretta guy information, or the Beretta guy video, and got listening to that about M&P and shit. Now I want one.
What, the M&P?
Oh yeah, Ernest Langdon.
Yeah. Just waiting for Jason to break off one of his pimped ones for me.
I can't think of if I've shot a Beretta or not.
I don't like.
I'm not saying they're a great gun. They need a little work out of the box. You know what I mean? You don't have to rebuild the whole damn thing like a Glock.
No, you definitely don't have to do that.
Just a few dollars in springs, maybe put some grips on it. It's a night and day difference.
Yeah, my main problem with those is the position of the controls on being on the slide. I'm not a fan of guns that have it. The only gun that I've ever held that had the slide mounted controls that I liked is the IWI Jericho 941S, because the way it being built as a copy of the CZ75, the slide isn't that far from. You don't have to stretch your thumb as far as you do with, say, the Beretta. And with my wrist issues and everything, that stretching my thumb like that isn't comfortable to hit that on the Beretta, whereas it's much more comfortable on the Jericho.
I just take the safety off of it and don't use it. You only need it for a decocker, and you don't have to use your grip hand to decock it.
See, I got trained on using that safety, so it's second nature for me.
Yeah, exactly. we from the
We
time
need
we
a
went to
64.
junior, from the time we went to junior RTC summer camp to the time I was in basic training and we were handed a 92 to shoot in basic training. Yeah, we were. That's the way we were taught to do it, was with the thumb on their on the shooting hand, not your offhand.
Huh?
What?
How do you take the safety off with your offhand?
Well,
That's
you
how I
have
do
to.
it because I can't reach it
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, you have to move your hand to do it, but yeah, it is possible. It's convoluted, but you can do it that way.
The safety's right there where your right thumb
Mm-hmm.
could rest if you wanted to lay it along the slide.
Yeah, I know.
No, mine can't touch it. I can flip the safety off, but I can't flip it on without changing my grip.
Huh.
Now the one Beretta that I do like is the 192X, which one I can't remember which one it is, but the one that has the safety on the frame itself.
Yeah, but then that gun's kind of weird, man. Then you don't have a decocker.
I don't care. I can decock it with my thumb.
But on the 92, the decocker is the safety. So
Yeah.
once
Well,
again, you're still
See,
Yeah, but
that's where Beretta screwed up. They could have used the USP style safety on the one where it's on the frame and put the decocker with the safety as well. See, on the USP, like I was showing earlier on Echo Show, it works like in 1911s. You put it up on safe, down for off safe, but if you push it down again, it decocks the gun.
Yeah, the Beretta 84 I got. That's how it is. It's got a frame mounted safety like a 1911, but you push it like up farther and it decocks it. But that brand new gun doesn't have that feature, and they could have easily done it.
Yeah.
What's weird about that gun is for their top of the line money, it doesn't have a stainless barrel in it.
Yeah. G23.
They're just skimping you on that. They made a fantastic gun and they fell short. I mean, they could have put a black stainless barrel in it, but the stainless barrels are just more accurate. So I don't see how they build a target gun and don't put a good barrel in it.
Yeah, I don't know. But G23, I have no idea why M. Gabriel's comment would have been held. Unless men is a restricted word by YouTube now. I couldn't tell you. There's nothing in that comment that should have been held for.
You have to pronounce your pronouns in the video description.
No, okay. M. Gabriel, the M9 was not made for men who have big hands. It was made for men with normal size hands. The rest of you just have girl hands. That's why you like your little subcompact Glocks.
I don't own a subcompact Glock. Thank you very much. I own a subcompact Smith & Wesson and a subcompact SIG, but I do not own a subcompact Glock.
That's really the biggest complaint that I've seen from people with a M9 or 92 FS is that because it's got the double stack grip, it's wider and all that. You know, it's too big. It's too big. And then you hand me a little Sky, and I'm going, this is ridiculously tiny. And somebody's going, why? This is the greatest gun ever. It fits my hand perfectly. I can't help it. You got those little hands that Sarge is always putting on the screen there.
Yeah, and what people don't seem to realize is you can buy thinner aftermarket grips for the Beretta 92.
Yeah, you think about a Beretta. It's really highly customizable. Not for looks or bragging rights, but I mean for function. You can get thicker grips than normal. You can get a little bit thinner than normal, and then you can get super thin, and it really does change the feel of that gun. Some models have a little bit more of a radius cut into the back of the beaver tail, so you can get your hand up in there a little farther. There's just different things about them. If you can get a short reach trigger on them, if that's what you want, you can move that gun around to where it feels best for you. And I tell you, it's a huge difference from even standard grips down to ultra thin grips. you grab a hold of it, and it's almost like when you look at it, it seems like the slide's wider now than the rest of the damn gun. I mean, they are thin as can be. I do like the super thin ones, but I like what is just the normal thin. There's like a thin, and then there's an ultra thin. Just the normal thin, it's just a little bit smaller than the factory grips, because you get them from VZ or anybody. They're a G10 grip, so you get a little bit better grip than the plastic grips. But yeah, you can change that gun around to make it fit you.
Any of you guys ever shoot a double stack 1911 45 ACP?
Yeah.
That's got wide grips on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
That is so comfortable to shoot.
Yeah, those 2011s. Yeah, they got wide grip on them.
Now I have a Beretta that has some super thick wood grips. I mean, they're like looking like they're close to like a 1/4 inch on each side, and an extended mag release just barely makes it out to the edge of these wood grips. At first, it feels funny as hell when you pick it up, but man, Beretta's already a soft shooter. It's like a really soft shooter with them grips.
Man, you can always get yourself a M9A3. The grips on those aren't very thick either. The grip width on that. Yeah, the grip width
I got a couple of those.
Yeah, not talking about the M9A3, the pistol. It's only got 1.3 inch grip on it. The width on that.
The A3s are like a vertical grip, like a 1911.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of those.
Okay. I thought you were talking about you had a couple of aftermarket grips for them or something. Yeah. My brain is not fully functional right now.
No, that's another option. What they're called a Vertec, because they're a vertical backstrap. They really do mimic a 1911. So if you really like 1911s, you didn't like an original Beretta's grip, one of those guns feels totally different. Doesn't feel like a Beretta in your hand. Feels like a 1911. That might work for some people too. And when you get into that category, it's just like the other one. You can start changing different thicknesses of the grips, short reach triggers, normal triggers, and even like the 92X Performance you can buy at Trigger Kit. I've got one of those guns set up too. That trigger even goes out farther, so it's a longer reach at first, but then in single action, that trigger ends up straight up and down like a 1911.
Yeah,
if you can just change the feel of the Berettas.
Yeah, and they come in both the G and the F model, one being the decocker, the other one being the safety, and they're available with 17-round magazines, whereas most of your 92s are going to be a 15-round magazine.
Yeah, the magazines all interchange. The other thing about the guns, except for grips, every part interchanges among all of them. It's not like anything special other than those grips. That's it. All the parts fit, all the aftermarket parts, all the modifications, it's all exactly the same. Oh, I will add though, grip screws are different.
Yep, we got G-Webs is up there. Evening to you. And well, there, M. Gabriel, you're now a moderator. So now you can see if your stuff gets held. Well, your stuff won't get held anymore. So, but yeah, that was weird. I mean, he didn't say anything that should have been held. Of course, he deleted his comments, so I can't read what it was now. Oh, I did read it, but or not the Squib read it. That comment that Squib read of M. Gabriel's was held by YouTube, and I have no idea why.
Yeah, they do that to things I type all the time, man.
Probably because people at YouTube have normal sized hands, and
yeah, they were offended.
Yeah, sometimes you say stuff and it just never shows up at all on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Just like you never said it. And then sometimes they actually pop up and like give you a warning, tell you no.
Yeah. Kingpin and I were just talking about that last night. And we were talking about how the one day on Rick's show, we're telling jokes about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, and every time we do, we get one of those warnings popping up. Google's whatever moderation team or whatever it was has determined that this comment is not fit for posting. It's like, how the hell would they know? They didn't have enough time to review the goddamn comment.
They just pick up on keywords.
Mm-hmm. Moderator team has reviewed this. No, they didn't. I just pushed enter and that popped right up. They didn't have time to review shit. G23 is saying that the host of a certain show has sent out his links, and yes, he has. So I guess we're going to have to start wrapping this up. So, yeah. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here, Jason?
Oh, I got a lot of things I wouldn't mind plugging, but thanks for the invite. It was good to see y'all tonight. Bye. Happy Mother's Day.
What about you, Stacy?
No, not really. Not after that comment.
All right. Happy Mother's Day to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
What about you, Squibby?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. And Rob?
Take care of people and remember to eat a salad.
Are you driving now?
Always on the move, man.
It's the daycare bus.
He's driving the short bus. So, yeah. Well, on that note, we will bid you all adieu for this week, and we'll catch you sometime during the week. Maybe a certain bird out there in the chat will have a show this week since, he was too busy hanging out with the hens to do his show on Friday night. So until then, and maybe Jason will do a show this week. Or do you have plans on doing that?
I might be working tomorrow, but we'll see. If so, I'll put out a notice about an hour before, so about 7 o'clock tomorrow, and you'll know if I am or not.
Alrighty. So, yeah, we'll at the very least, we will catch you on, Wednesday night, possibly, on Rick's show, Rick's Life as I See It. For those of you who haven't subscribed to him, go out and check out Rick. He's a cool old guy that does a show Saturday afternoons at 3 Eastern, and then Wednesday nights he does a disability, shooting with disability show, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. So go out and check out Rick's Life as I See It, and sub to that old guy. He should have more subs than what he does. He does a really good show. He's very generous with his quiz questions that he asks every 2 weeks. It's really nice prize packs that he sends out. So, yeah, go over there and check out Rick's Life as I See It. And if you do, maybe we'll see you there on Wednesday. So, good night, folks, and we'll catch you next week.
Later, y'all.
I remember how the hell to turn this off. I'm too used to StreamYard. There we go.
Pour water on it.